So now we're recording. I'll do the intro, introduce you, and then start asking questions, okay? Here we go. And welcome back to the podcast, He Has a Bird. I am your host, Sean Sheldon. I have a very, very, very special guest today. It is the Sandro Platzgummer, or as I like to call him, just Sandy. He has recently got back from the NFL International or the NFL Pathway Program, or training to become in the NFL Pathway Program at IMG. And he's one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Not my favorite Platzgummer. Shout out to Andy Platzgummer. But one of my favorite human beings. Sandy, thank you for coming on. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So I want to ask you several questions about your experiences in Florida, okay? So for people who don't know, he was selected to train at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, to potentially become him amongst a handful. How many international players were there?
Just 9.
So 9 international players to train to see if they can become or get accepted into the NFL Pathway Program, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What I'm curious about, what was your everyday schedule like there? What did a day in the life of Sandro Platzgummer in Bradenton at IMG look like?
So basically every morning it was like almost the same. They tried to switch it up at times so it doesn't get like boring. But basically we got up, got breakfast, and we had team meeting. We would talk about the day, talk about like general stuff.
Okay.
Talk about like watch some football videos as well, like of NFL veterans. And then we would go over either like Monday, I think twice a week we had like some force plate jumps where they basically test how reactive your body is, how ready your body is to train.
Okay.
So they did that twice a week. And if we didn't have that, we would just go to treatment right from the team meeting, about an hour before the meeting starts, the classroom meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would just meet with the running backs coach, like, because I was kind of like the only guy that was like alone by himself, because there was no other running back in the program.
Right. So what would you guys talk about in the meetings?
We watched a lot of film, obviously, like of NFL players, mostly McCaffrey, because everybody calls me McCaffrey and compares me to him.
That's not a bad comparison. It's a
No,
lot
it's
better.
not.
It's a lot better than some other comparisons that you could have.
Yeah, it's nice. And then we watched some of my own film from back home, from my highlight film. We obviously everything in practice gets filmed all the time, so we would watch that as well.
Okay.
And we would also do some stuff, drawing on the board, drawing plays, understanding plays, watching some NFL films, and then just draw it on a board by myself, because basically preparing for an interview that I would have had at the combine.
Okay.
With the scouts. So I mean, in the end, that didn't happen because, but still, it's a good preparation.
Mm-hmm.
It was also good to see that most of the stuff that I got taught there is actually very similar to what we've done at the Raiders.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Just a little bit tougher with the tight ends,
Sure.
You never use a tight end, so
tight end's a game changer. It's absolute game changer.
That's the main thing.
So after running back meetings, what would your day look like?
Then we had meetings, then we had training. Usually we have like half an hour conditioning before every training, which is kind of the warm-up. Kind of a pain in the ass.
That sounds awful. But keep going. I'm already out. Nope, yeah. I'm good.
I mean, the good thing is that like it was just me and another receiver. All the other guys were like linemen, so it was kind of like for the lineman it was really, really tough. Yeah. For me it was kind of like okay, but then after like half an hour conditioning, we always had like 1 hour, maybe 1.5 football training, which is basically 1.5 hours like of indies. A lot of indie drills, everything got filmed, giving some tips, and
which is basically what you have to do with 9 athletes, right? You can't actually do more than these, really.
No, we would just wear a helmet all the time, so just to keep being used to the helmet, but no pads. And so I was just mostly by myself. Sometimes I joined the receivers, sometimes actually I practice with the combine guys that were
Okay.
there to prepare for the combine. Actually, the number one, or he might be the best running back in the draft now, DeAndre Swift. He was practicing.
Yeah,
Every other practice.
him and J.K. Dobbins go back and forth.
Yeah.
But they're both super talented.
So he was there. He was a nice guy too, and at times also some other NFL players just would train there. Some of the pathway program from last year, of which Jacob Johnson and Christian Wade were there.
Okay.
And so basically, we just did indies. We did blocking, catching, running, running some drills, some combine drills as well, and then just run routes. And if you're the only running back, it's kind of tough because you just
I can imagine that's tough. That's exhausting.
And then run back and then just keep going.
Okay,
But
then after practice?
And then after practice, we would always like to go to the ice tub if we have time.
Yep.
But most of the time, we had some they tried to get the sprint training or the speed training right after the practice. So we would have like 2 hours break after lunch where we can take a nap or just relax a little bit before we get to weight training. So we would sometimes do that, and then we would have to really hurry to the lunch so it doesn't close on us.
Okay, lunch. You're at lunch already. So you've had a meeting, physio, or testing.
Yeah, we had two meetings.
Another meeting.
We had physio. We had
a training, and then you're at lunch.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. And in the afternoon? It sounds like a full day.
Yeah, it was. But it's nice, though, because the physio is usually, you just put yourselves in the recovery pants.
Right.
Maybe do some foam rolling, and maybe you can listen to music. It's not that tough.
Yeah.
And so in the afternoon, what was really a pain in the ass at the beginning, we didn't have any nap time because we had to go to media training right after lunch.
Okay, interesting. Explain that. Like how to give
we had
interviews, or
yeah, sometimes we just had somebody talking about media, like basically like classes in university. We would just listen to him and he would tell us some stuff.
like what? Important. Like what's one thing you remember, if you remember
that
anything?
We have to take care about in the interview, even if we don't like it, don't show it. And we shouldn't take Marshawn Lynch as an example, by the way. Something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
That was okay. I mean, it was not really a lot of new stuff. But sometimes we would also have like classes about like nutrition, hydration, and stuff like that.
Did you anything that you found interesting as a medical student?
It was interesting, and most of the stuff was just really basic. So I mean, I would guess like if you're an athlete, 90% of the people should actually know that already. What's protein and carbs?
Like,
but
like, hey, you should drink water. It's like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's good to see how much and stuff. We also did some sweat testing to see how much water we lose in practice. And
how funny would it have been if the guy from Game Changers was there and gave a presentation to you guys?
That would be really funny.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Game Changers is a Netflix documentary that's controversial. So
yeah, especially with you and your wife, because
my wife Lisa did not enjoy
carb
it.
And vegan doesn't really get it.
She didn't really enjoy or completely agree with that documentary as well. Okay, so you have classes in the afternoon, and then what?
Yeah, then I mean, we kind of canceled that after like 2 or 3 weeks because they noticed that it's not that much of a help. Sometimes we also had like vision training, which is just cognitive training basically.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was okay. And then after that, like usually like 4 or 5-ish, we would have the weight training. So we always had like 30 minutes of warm up before, where we can basically do whatever we need to do. At the beginning, they showed us what we should do, and then we just did everything that we wanted to. And we would start the weight training. It lasted about 2 hours. The warm up was also usually about 30 minutes. So the warm up was also like really, really long. It's just a lot of stuff, but some good exercises that I've done before, but just not as much as we did in there, because we did them twice a week. because we have upper body training twice a week. We have leg training twice a week, and then we have one special teams training in the mid of the week. And then so we had the strength training, and then after that it was like kind of like 7 usually. If we had some time, we did some catching, just get together with a quarterback and just catch some balls, walking, not too much running, and then just go to dinner from then. And then sometimes we would have like a meeting where we just watch the practice with the international, basically with Will Bryce and James Cook, the guys that are like basically our agents right now.
Okay.
But at the end, they always skip that because they knew we were watching it by ourselves anyways, and we watch it in the with our coach as well. So they just wanted to give us the evening off, and then so we would just chill at the hot tub in the evening, maybe go for a swim in the pool.
Yeah.
Just
So you were
guys.
basically like in 2 months of camp.
Yeah, that's what I always said.
Basically.
Like it's almost
Yeah.
like national team camp, except the fact that it's
It's more
50% football training and 50%
right. It's
strength
more
and speed. Yeah,
exactly. And was that Monday through Friday? Was that Monday through Sunday? What
that was
was
that was Monday through Saturday,
okay?
but with Wednesday and Saturday was usually the afternoon. We just had the massage.
Uh-huh.
So at the end, like after like week 3, when my knee kind of got better because of my surgery,
Good.
I kind of sometimes on Wednesday and Saturday when I felt good, I did another like speed workout because we didn't do that much running actually,
Okay.
like sprinting, because
Right.
most of it was just conditioning. So I felt like I was not getting faster, like only doing conditioning and just
Mhm.
running so many drills in practice, having no break. So I just tried to just get a few like sprints with a lot of
Yeah.
break in between.
Yeah, I
But
know it. I know how you
and yeah,
feel. I feel that. I feel that way a lot. I can
no,
relate quite a
I know
bit.
you don't.
Yeah.
You know.
uh
And yeah,
so
Sunday was off. Sunday was
so you
always
did
off.
have some free time. What'd you guys do in the
Yeah.
free time?
Uh, to be honest, most of the guys were, including me, sometimes were really lazy on Sunday
Well,
because
that's understandable based on the schedule that you
yeah,
just laid
I
out
mean,
for me.
I would never like most of the sun. We went to the Everglades once. We went to the beach like twice. Uh, I would just go to the pool,
You said you went to
chill.
the Everglades.
Yeah, we did.
That's not that close though. That's a several hour drive.
No, it's like 1 hour.
Really? From Bradenton? Is
Yeah.
it so far south? I should know this.
Um,
And, and what
there's many different places, I guess. It was
yeah.
called like uh the river. What was the name? Peace River. Peace River was the name.
Okay.
That far.
Okay. And how was that? What'd you guys do?
We went just on a ride on one of those airboats, which was really
Ah,
nice.
cool.
Yeah, and then we saw one alligator actually.
You saw one?
We saw just one in life because
Just
it was kind
one.
of like on that Sunday. It usually was like really warm every day, but that
Right.
Sunday was kind of like chilly, just 20 degrees
Mm-hmm.
and kind of windy. So all the alligators were just lazy, laying around, not doing anything. And we just saw one. And but they say if you see one, you missed 6. So we
Most
probably
likely. Most
yeah
likely. But you're right. On sunny days, they're out laying and heating up and sunbathing.
yeah
And it's pretty funny. Pretty funny
yeah.
to watch.
But I was able to hold one because they had like some alligators at their place, so we could
Really?
hold them in our hands. Yeah, I have a
Hmm.
picture of that. Really, really nice.
Funny. Funny. Okay, yeah. It's not that far away from you guys, Peace River. But it's also not that close to
No, it was like an hour,
yeah,
if I
yeah, yeah.
remember right
I
correctly.
got you. Um so looking back, first of all, how much better of a football player or how much better of a football do you think you will be based on this experience?
Uh, some That's a hard question to answer. I
That's why I
think
asked
with
it. I asked the tough questions.
with indie drills like we did at the run with my coach basically
Hmm.
4 times a week. Um, I think I got a lot better in those because
Hmm.
you know you just do a speed ladder every time. You do some step overs. You do
Hmm.
different routes. Catching was also something that I got really even better at. So
Hmm.
I think that actually helps me as a football player because my coach always like he's kind of a how to say, like traditional coach.
Mm-hmm.
So he really like focuses on basics, and he always does the things that he thinks if we do those in practice over and over again, those movements, they will translate to the field. And I can kind of believe that. So, dipping the shoulder, hitting holes, cutting as well,
Mm-hmm.
always those 1-2 cuts that I've actually done before lots of times, which I never realized before because I didn't know that's actually the way you're supposed to cut.
Right. You just did it naturally.
Yeah, and so I think I definitely improved on those things. Athletically, it's hard to say because the weight training was not that much different. We just had much better equipment and
Right.
much more time to recover.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially
Well,
with the massages as well.
and exactly. I was about to say the physio and the training staff that you guys had was probably
Yeah, and
uncomparable to anybody's situation when you.
exactly. And we got like a Theragun, which was really nice too
Mm-hmm.
by ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
those.
I have
I
a
mean, I
Theragun.
don't
You
think
want to
those
see it?
power pads help that much, but
I have a
but it's still
Theragun.
nice to have them.
I made it myself. You want to see it?
I think I've already seen it like at practice. Is it this? Is it the same one?
Yeah. You just buy a heavy duty jigsaw and then you put an attachment with a lacrosse ball and
That looks nice.
yeah. I think I would rather have a Theragun. Anyways, and say okay. So now what's the plan moving forward? What is the situation moving forward?
So yeah, the actual plan would have been 3 weeks of like getting home, just keep doing the workouts, keep doing some drills, staying in shape, and then get picked up if we make the program. 4 of the 9 guys at least, because I mean, some of us could get drafted or get a deal like a free agent deal,
Mm-hmm.
and in the end, if nobody gets that, still 4 guys are making the program basically, uh, getting to one
Now,
division.
if somebody gets drafted or picked up as an unrestricted free agent, does that count against the 4?
No, it doesn't. So
Okay,
basically, if another team picks you up, that would mean 4 other guys can make it. So
right. Okay,
the goal was like in total that maybe 5 or 6 guys could have made the NFL this year.
gotcha.
Now it's going to be tough because nobody really saw us in person,
Right,
and
right.
so that was the
But no
plan.
matter what,
Now,
four people make this pathway
yeah,
program. Okay.
and that still applies. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, basically now it's just 5 weeks because we got here 2 weeks earlier. So it's 5 weeks of staying in shape, which is even harder because we can't get out.
Yeah,
So
that's tough. That's
yeah,
tough.
but most likely, whenever after the draft, if we get the answer if we allocate it or not, and if we are, then it really depends on when can we travel to the States again because we
Exactly.
couldn't right now, and when does the training, the NFL up like the camps, when do they start
Yeah,
the rookie
I mean
camp?
the mini camps and the rookie camps don't start long after the draft. Usually,
Yeah, I
usually.
mean the plan would have been that we would go there right after the draft and
Right.
start,
Right.
but now it's probably gonna be postponed. So
Yep.
it's kind of like a question mark, but that's with everybody. So it's
Exactly. And
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
just that way.
Good. Well, Sandy, I'm so glad that you got this experience, and I hope you make an NFL roster or the program. I think it would be so cool. But
Yeah,
now I'm
that'd
gonna
be nice.
transition. Yeah, no, it'd be you're literally you are literally living people's dreams.
Yeah,
So not many people can say that, which is
definitely.
pretty cool. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But now I'm gonna transition to some personal questions because first of all, I like asking you personal questions. I like what you're
yeah.
gonna say.
Very excited for that because all the questions I've gotten from since like the last 2 months were all about
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
kind of like the same.
I haven't given a ton of interviews, so you're my second. But I'm pretty sure I'll interview unlike most people. So starting off, Sandy, what is your biggest fear? What are you scared
Uh,
of the most?
my biggest fear. Um, it's kind of hard to say. I don't like the heights, to be honest. So
Coming from a Tyrolean, that's interesting.
yeah, I mean, on a mountain it's okay, but if there's nothing below me, kind of gets scared at times. I definitely am not scared of lizards because some
Okay, good to
guys,
know.
some of us were like really scared of lizards because we had so many lizards at the
Yeah.
academy.
Yeah, you're in South Florida.
And yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
but I really like the lizards. You know, they remind me
no,
of
they're cool.
dinosaurs. They're
They're
really
cool.
nice.
They're cool. I like the thing that comes out of the neck
Oh
of the
yeah,
males.
that's
Those
nice
look
too.
cool. Those look cool. Anyways, okay, so heights.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you, this is interesting. I'm very interested. I've never asked you or Adrian this. Are
Okay.
you or were you competitive with Adrian growing up? Adrian Platzgummer is your older brother, for people who don't
You
know.
know, I actually can. That's a good question. I have a
Thank you.
great answer for that actually,
Good.
because I've been looking in some old film from like when we were like kids, from like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because I might have to send some over to NFL Films if I make the program, because they're doing like
Yeah,
they're
of
gonna do like
course.
a big episode. So I looked into that stuff, and my father actually cut it all up, which was really nice. And
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did
yeah,
it happily.
def- yeah, he did. And um, yeah, we were really competitive actually at
I could
times.
see that. Okay.
and and it's also funny to see, because like for him it was like tough at times, because my body was always like developed earlier, so I was 2 years younger, but at times I was like maybe even heavier or taller than him. I don't know the year that it was, but sometimes I was. So it was kind of tough for him to actually accept it, because I'm the younger brother, and so he had to work as well, like he had to work harder as well. He would just develop a little bit later. So we always looked like about the same age, and I always just tried to compete with him all the time. For me, it was great, because you know, if you have an older brother, 2 years is kind of a good age, because you can still compete. If he's too old,
Sure.
it's gonna be too tough. But
Sure.
it's also
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I'm the youngest of three boys, and the oldest was 4 years older than me, and then the middle was 2 years. So he was kind of out of reach, even though I kept trying. But the middle brother, I agree with you. It's just it's positive motivation.
I think it helped me a lot. I think probably without my brother, I would not have been as good at football as I am. I think
Oh, that's a nice thing
I'm
to
pretty
say.
sure about that.
That's a nice thing. How does it feel to win the competition?
Yeah.
You don't have
I
to
wouldn't say
answer.
I win the
Okay,
competition.
you don't have to answer. But we know. No, your older brother is also a phenomenal athlete. Um, and I'm sure you were pushing him from the bottom as much as he was pulling you from the top. And your guys' top secret training facility underneath your house also probably helped. Moving on. What has
You'll
been
believe
your
that, right?
yeah, I'll cut all of this. Don't worry about it. What has been your favorite or best football memory thus far?
It's tough to say. I've had so many already.
I need one.
That's really tough to say.
One.
I mean, I guess last year was like kind of like one of the best. I mean, it was. Um, I played like hurt during the season,
Hmm.
and we had the best season we ever had at the Raiders. I had one of my best seasons. We won every game. Uh, I think we were such a great team. Like it was so many players on the team, so it was just awesome to be in the Austrian Bowl last year, when you know, it was kind of close the game, and then you had that strip. You had like, because I missed the block and the guy
No, I mean
stripped you.
it was a screwed up.
Yeah, I
I
mean
should have
some people got
audibled.
through, but
I should have audibled. Anyways,
sure. But still, I missed the guy, and he was also part of the strip sack, and then they brought it back to the end zone, and then I got the ball on the kickoff return. My
yeah,
legs were already empty, and then I somehow brought that to the house. That was like an awesome feeling. I would never forget that
yeah,
actually.
that was huge. That was huge. That kickoff
And
return was absolutely huge.
I still remember like how long it felt. My legs were just gone at midfield, and I still had like 50 yards to go, and I felt like my legs are giving up.
Sandy,
That was
I would have passed out at the 15. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how you do half the runs that you do. I would have been out. Okay, good. I agree with you. Last year was pretty special. What is your favorite free time activity, or what's your hobby when you're not training for football or studying medicine? or even hanging out with your lovely girlfriend? What do you do to waste time
So, what I would do to waste time?
or spend time? Don't.
Um,
It's not a waste. Nothing's a waste.
I kind of like. You mean like sports activities or anything, right?
Anything like when you days off and just start thinking about stuff. That could be one too.
So, if I felt like I have like a lot of training and a lot of studying, I would probably just watch some NFL. How do you call Colin Coward and those guys?
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
some videos about the NFL. Just listen to them. I really don't like playing video games because I feel like they they also like kind of take away my concentration and it's already gone. So I just like to listen to some stuff where I don't have to do anything.
Hmm.
And if I still feel like I have a lot of energy, I would really like to go like play squash. I think that's a really nice sport.
Ah, cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. That's a good
But
sport. I
you know,
played
it's
I
also
played that a lot in college.
yeah, it's also really exhausting. So if we have a lot of practice, I wouldn't do that.
It's a sneaky tough agility workout. It's so much
Yeah,
changing direction.
and conditioning as well.
True.
Yeah,
True.
I
Good.
really like it.
Two more questions. Do
Hmm.
you have a hidden talent? Do you have
I
something
hit it.
that a hidden talent that people don't know you're actually good at or that you can do, but that you actually have?
uh, that I actually have. I would have to think about it. Probably have to ask my girlfriend about that. She might know.
Well, if she knows, then it's not so hidden. No, just kidding.
uh, I'm kind of like I'm good at how should I call that? Um, uh, I can be very very emotional. You know, I can. I feel like I sometimes people would not understand some emotions, so I would always if I feel like if my girlfriend is like really really pissed off or whatever, and people wouldn't notice that, I would always notice it, and I would really tell myself that it's my fault. So I don't know.
I could see
I always
that.
get I get
I could
emotional
see,
about those kind of
I could
things.
see you having very high emotional
If you,
intelligence. It's
yeah, I
not,
mean, if
it's
you
not
call
so
that,
much of a talent, but sure, we'll take it. More of a
I
characteristic, but it works.
probably should have prepared for this question. I'm not
No, no,
sure.
no, no. I didn't want you to prepare. That's the point.
Okay,
Last question. And this is
okay.
the
Well, it
toughest
must be a good
question.
must
Oh,
be a good one.
it's really good. Who is the best quarterback you have ever played with for the Swalker Raiders men's team?
that's a that's a bad question. I mean,
Why?
I think because I think you were the only one basically.
So say it.
Sean Shelton.
Just so I thought. Yes. Yes. Yes.
But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
even
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one. I don't
you
think.
can.
I don't think
You,
you've ever played a game.
I played with John Bandenrath, but only for 2 games, so I wouldn't really
Ah,
count
okay. Okay. I didn't know that. So that's less funny now. But
it.
I'll
Yeah,
still
but
take it.
even if you include like national team quarterbacks, I would still say it's you for sure.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you can be
Now you're
proud of
just yeah, yeah. Now you're just pandering to me. So, but I love it. So Sandy, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It
It's
was nice
yeah,
being here.
it's nice that you're home, although you can't see anybody and going right into quarantine.
No,
But
I can see my family. That's okay.
there you go. There you go. And a very, very nice family you have. So uh we'll be in touch, but as far as the podcast, we and I think everybody wishes you the best of luck and want to see you succeed to the highest capability if you can that you can. And if not, then you get to play with us again. So
Yeah, I'm
you're,
definitely excited for whatever comes my way.
yeah,
And two
I
months,
think
the 2 months were definitely good. Whatever is gonna happen now, it
I
was a
mean,
very good
you're in a
experience.
win-win scenario. Either A, you
Yeah.
play in the NFL, or B, you continue to be a promising med student and continue to be one of the best football players and natural talents in Europe. So you're in pretty good shape, Sandy. You're in pretty good shape. All right, buddy. Hey, thank you again. And see, I told you, I don't know how to end it. I don't know how to end it. And now I don't know how I'm going to edit this. I'll probably just leave it in. Sandy, thanks you for coming on. We'll talk soon.
Thank you too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.